Yeah.
Up. Speed. Yep. Yeah. Nice. Athletic Dads, welcome back to the channel. Today is an excellent training session. We're actually previewing week 4, day 2 of the Athletic Dad training program. So for individuals who want to know exactly what the program looks like, got a good opportunity and a good insight on week 4, day 2 today. So we have back squats on the minute. Well, excuse me, I'll say squat variation on the minute because Spence is a front squat. And then we have another Athletic Dad, Trevor, who you guys know from a few videos ago. He's also back squatting with me. Then we have some overhead presses, some jumps, and then some isos to finish up. We actually just wrapped up the session. Spencer did not go full Will Rattel and train in the polo, but these are new T3 polos and these things look smooth. They look good. So any thoughts on the program and how the session went today?
Yeah, dude, it went great. It's good to have variability in the program. Like we talked about, like, you know, these two went back squat. I back squatted yesterday. So it's good to be able to, you know, get a different variation in there in a front squat. But it's good to, you know, have the athletic part in there. It's enough, but not too much, if that makes sense. Where it's like, we're going to incorporate a jump that's challenging enough, but we can still accomplish over time. If we push it on, you know, proper weight, proper time, it checks all the boxes that we need to feel like an athletic person or an athletic dad, mom, cousin, uncle, whoever you are.
Absolutely, yeah, all the variations of athletic families. And that's something that we want to show with this program is that it is meant for athletic dads, so dads who want to regain their athleticism after having kids and not really training like an athlete, or for individuals who are currently athletes, like Spencer himself, currently an athlete, younger, doesn't have kids, but still, this is a good enough training session for him to really get a lot out of it. So we hope you enjoy it. It was a great session. We loved it. Hopefully you get some good insight on it. All right, so as we're warming up for our squats, we are hitting some of these deep tier, these squatted upper body rotations. So we're just as far down into a squat, sitting at the very bottom, same position we're gonna hit at the bottom of the squat when we get into our actual working sets. And then from here, we're just trying to start the hands on the ground and then rotate the hand all the way up to the ceiling, get a big twist through the spine. We're going about 3 sets of 10 each side, as we're building up to our good first working set of the EMOM, which today is 75%.
Probably don't need the belt, but safety, right? That's what they teach you in fire class.
Good speed. All right, so we're gonna do our on-the-minute training. First exercise after our mobility work is a squat variation for 10 minutes, 1 rep on the minute at 75%. So we're bumping up the percentage from the first phase for the first 3 weeks of training, but still sticking to the time constraints. We've got 75% on the bar, going off of 405, so I got about 300. You see Spence is doing front squat, that's the variation he chose for today, and then Trevor's doing back squat. Next to us, we're just trying to keep this bar nice and fast, trying to hit really good reps, 10 of them, then we've got 3 open sets afterwards. Yeah. Now,
And
well, and again, I know.
hey, yo,
Hey, Trev,
you good?
That's too far forward.
let's be an athlete here.
Too far forward.
I can't. I mean, this guy can fucking dunk, but he can't even stand up 285.
Again, even if you have trouble kind of pushing this percentage, just make sure you're staying on that time constraint because we're trying to be super efficient with not only our time, but also our movement pattern. So if it feels better to go a little lighter because you're just getting back into it, that's totally cool. We're just trying to accumulate a good amount of reps. Once we finish the 10th set, we'll have 3 open sets. So what I mean by that is if you're feeling really good, you want to push it for a couple singles, for 3 heavier singles, you can do that. If you want to keep to the same weight, you can do that. We're just trying to get a bit more exposure to a squat and give yourself the ability to go a little heavier if you feel good. This is gonna allow us to kind of meet anybody where they're at. So if you just need to accumulate some reps, stay at this weight, accumulate some more reps at this weight. If you feel good and can push it and want to challenge yourself a little bit, and somebody who's been squatting for a long time and want and need a little more exposure to those heavier sets, you can take shots at that too. No time constraint on these open sets. Just take your time, as much time as you have, as much time as you need before you take the sets, especially if you're going up in weight. Yes.
I got you on the way back.
Yeah, money.
Yeah.
Speed. Yep.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh.
Come on, dude.
Come on.
Up. Come on.
Let's go.
Up. Yep.
Yeah.
Up.
Well done.
Upper body strength movement of the day is a strict shoulder press. So we've shown different variations of this. Week 2, we did the seated overhead press. I just wanted to show different variations. Whatever you feel the most comfortable with, you can choose. Or if there's a specific variation that you really want to get good at, you can do that too. Or if your gym only allows you to do, let's say, a seated dumbbell overhead press, then you can choose that too. So we're gonna go strict overhead press. We've got 3 sets working to a top set of 5. We're gonna pair our horizontal jump variation and weighted chin-ups with that. So we got 3 sets of each of those. Once we hit our top set of 5, we're gonna drop 10%. So drop less than we have in the first 3 weeks. We were doing 20%, now we're going 10%, and we're gonna hit another AMRAP again for that hypertrophy stimulus, for that pump. Feeling pretty good. Then we've got our ISOs after that, and then we're out. Nice. Horizontal jump variation is going to be a medial hop. We've got 3 medial hops where we're trying to cover as much ground as we can. Then we're gonna land in a skater hop. So we're gonna land on that opposite leg, stick and hold that, and then we're gonna reset and then come back. We have 3 times down and back here. Covering as much ground as we can. 1, 2, 3, and land. Stick it. 1.
Yeah, I got caught on that.
And last exercise in the circuit is going to be a weighted chin up. So supinated grip here, doing an AMRAP, so as many reps as we can. And then as you progress through the other 3 sets, you have 2 options. You can either drop the weight or you can keep the same weight and then obviously do a few less reps as you start to fatigue.
Dude, I've never done a weighted chin up in my life because I've had enough weight on my body, but here we go. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Yeah. I'm like 215 right now.
Just like we talked about in the last video, we just want a vertical pull variation. So if the weighted chin-ups are too difficult, like Spencer was saying, did one, right? So we'll drop the weight, do as many as we can do the next 2 sets. If we're still not getting a ton there, we would just choose basically a pull down variation where you're getting in that same position, but you can change the weight based off of the load and how you load the machine. So that's kind of the other options that you have if you aren't great at chin-ups. Yeah. Minis you got. Yeah.
10.
160 on the bar, last set of 5 before we drop down to the AMRAP.
Yeah.
Woo! So 10%, what's that, 16. AMRAP coming up after this. One more jump, one more chin up.
Oh, my
Went
last
up in
one.
weight, we're up to 40 on the weighted chin up. Spence dropped the weight and banged out a good amount of reps, so he's gonna stay there. Body weight, again, you got the option. We're just trying to find a variation that's challenging for us. Yeah, one more.
Come on. Yeah.
Oof.
Do I think a lot of people probably have a dip machine at a gym? You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about? That's another good tool to definitely create with this. When,
That's a great point.
Like when needed.
Yeah.
Like dip or chin up, pull up, whatever it is. Like definitely like.
Yeah. Yeah, he's talking about the machine that you can basically put your knees on
Yeah,
to do
knees
chin-ups
on.
and pull-ups. That's a great, I know pull-ups and chin-ups are probably the hardest body weight variation there is,
Yeah.
right? So people who are just getting back into it, we keep suggesting like the lat pull-down machine. We've got some Kaisers here that we could use for that. So really whatever variation you can stick to that you can progressively overload or make more challenging is the one that you're gonna wanna choose. But we're gonna do enough of them, so hopefully by the end of the program, if you can't hit any pull-ups or chin-ups now, you can do them by the end.
What do you got, a 40 over there?
40 spot. 11, then 8.
Yeah. Get another one. Come on. Oh boy.
Woo! Good one. Last set overhead presses. It is really crazy the response you can get from just like 3 AMRAPs.
Yeah.
Instead of like I used to spend 45 minutes just hitting machines
Yeah.
for like pumps out. So we took off. We're down to from 165 to 150. Let's rip.
Yeah. Come on. Yeah. Yes. 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 Oh yeah.
Here's another good thing to think about when it comes to these top sets and back off sets is if you are able to lift heavier weight, then your back off set is obviously going to be heavier, so you're going to get less reps in the AMRAP set. And you're strong enough to where that's okay. You can still get a good response from that. If you can't hit a very heavy set after 3 sets and you drop off, it'll be lighter, and you'll be able to get more reps, a bit more of a hypertrophy stimulus, also a bit more of exposure to that movement pattern. So you're also improving the skill of that movement. So either way, everybody wins. I could train with somebody who hits 405 for their strict press, and then of course their back offset is still gonna be way, way more than anything I would do, but that meets their needs where they're at. That's one of the really good things about the program is whether you're an athletic dad or an athlete or an athletic mom, you can get a really good stimulus to this training program because it meets and matches everybody kind of where they're at. Last thing we got here, we have a 1 minute push-up, so 60 seconds top to bottom all the way back up. You're going to make it as challenging as you need to. So the idea is 30-second descent, 30-second ascent. If you're not super good at that, you can spend a little more time at the bottom. We've built up a lot of time in the high plank position and a lot of time in the low plank position, so you can kind of spend time there. We're trying to go real slow to the bottom, real slow back up to the top. We go 3, 2, 1. So again, you kind of got the option, spend the time at the bottom. Our chest is not on the ground. And then we're slowly going back up. 20 seconds, yeah. Trying to move the whole body as a unit, so shoulders, hips, trying to move all at the same time. Easier said than done, 10 seconds. Again, if you get to the top too early, you can just hold that high plank. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time.